What's up, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to my AEW Wrestle Dream review. Another very long show from AEW, which I'm sure if everybody knows how AEW pay-per-views go, they go on for a really long time, okay? So what is the theme of this show? If there's one word I would have to describe is lack of build. And I say this because there's a lot of matches on this show, which are pretty good, but at the same time, very last minute, only had like 1 or 2 weeks of build. So yeah, you get a good match, but it's just like last minute booking at the same time. But let's get right into the show. Now, I'm sure a lot of people did not watch the pre-show because these pre-show matches be going like, 4 or 5 matches for no reason. Because I think this pre-show started like about, 5:30 over here in Chicago. And I think the matches didn't start till 6. So I'm going to run through this real quick because I don't really care. To what I saw was Atlantis Jr. versus Brian Cage for the Ring of Honor television title. I have no idea what's really going on here. I don't know why this is a match. It was just a match. I'm actually surprised Brian Cage even won a match, let alone a singles title. So now he is the Ring of Honor television champion. Well, yeah, this is the first singles title he's ever won. I'm not really gonna count that FTW belt all the way with Taz. And the other titles I can really say he had was like the 6-man ROH titles. But I guess some say it's his first singles title since the last time he was in TNA, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't really care. I don't really watch Ring of Honor anyways. Like, you could say if it was a good match in that. I didn't even know what it was about. I'm like, well, Cage won a title, so I guess that's good. So good for him, but whatever. Anna Jay went against Harley Cameron. I don't even know why this is a match. I don't know why any of these pre-show matches are a match, but some would point out that the ref looked like she put Cameron's shoulder on the mat so Anna Jay can count. I think she did like the was it the Queen Slayer or something she won with? It wasn't even bad. I know people have been talking about how Anna Jay has improved now. I know she had been in Japan recently, I think for Stardom. So hopefully the skills brush off in AEW and maybe she has improved. So I didn't, like I said, I watched it, but like I said, I can't really pay attention to these pre-show matches. But I didn't think she was bad out there. So we'll see where that goes. The Acclaimed went against MXM Collection, the male models. Now, the only thing I can point out here is that Rico, if anybody remembers Rico from Billy and Chuck back then, You Look So Good to Me theme song and whatnot, he was with the models. I gotta say, Rico still kind of looks the same. He doesn't really look that different. He's still pretty good shape. He kind of looks like the last time I remember him. I haven't seen him in wrestling since WWE for God knows how long. I think they say he was a cop at one point, or I think after wrestling. I'm not sure, but I haven't heard about Rico and God knows how long. So it was good to see him. The Acclaim, they came out rapping. I didn't really even know what they said. I think it was something to do with a Diddy party or something, since that's the new thing to talk about all the time now is just Diddy and his parties, or something about Kamala Harris not being black, or I don't really know. That's a debate to go into another time, which, we could all sit there and say she's not like us for obvious reasons, but I don't know. That's basically the two things I caught him rapping about. But, Billy even said that, I don't even want to, he said he didn't want to get in the ring, but he talked about how Rico, I almost married another guy because of him. If you remember Billy and Chuck and Rico being the manager, and trust me, if you remember that segment on SmackDown years ago with them almost marrying each other and a 3-minute warning getting involved and what they beat up Stephanie, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. Like, come on, it was like 2002 SmackDown if I'm not mistaken. So look it up, trust me. But like I said, they have Rico out there. It's not much I can say about this tag match. I'll give Mason Mansoor something. Like, as much as we talk about the whole model thing and how it did not work in WWE, at least they're kind of running with the gimmick and trying to make it into their own and whatnot, just to, work. But I was kind of surprised they even had Rico. Like, the Acclaim one, I'm not surprised. The Claim at this point, I don't even know where they position they're in. Like, they've been relegated to pre-show now, so it's like they're over, but their popularity is not at once where it was. Like, weren't they just on All In not that long ago on the pay-per-view, and now they're on the pre-show? So I don't know. They beat the model, so there you go. Uh, at one point I thought the TBS title was on the line on this show tonight. I guess not. I thought it was gonna be Mercedes and what Statlander, but now I guess Queen Aminata will get a shot at the title this Wednesday because they had some backstage segment, so that's gonna happen. So it's now in this pay-per-view. And then the last pay-per-view match was Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy versus the Outrunners versus the Dark Order versus the what are they called? Like the damn, I don't even really know. It's Tony Nese and Davari and I don't know, Mark Star. I don't even like the premium athletes. I don't even know what they're called. Dude, it's just a fatal 4-way tag team to get people on the card. And the Outrunners, did the Outrunners win? No, it was an 8-man tag. No, I thought it was a. Honestly, yeah, no, it was an 8-man tag. That's what it was. It was the Outrunners and Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy, the conglomerate, versus the premier athletes and the Dark Order. Okay, it was an 8-man tag, and I think the Outrunners got the win. I'm assuming the Outrunners getting a push soon since they've been kind of getting wins and seem to be over on AEW right now. So maybe we'll see where that goes. One thing my friend pointed out, Straight Face 40. Remember when Kyle O'Reilly was something? Why is he playing second fiddle to Orange Cassidy nowadays? Like, I don't even understand that. Remember when he was something? Like literally, because I don't even know what they're doing with Kyle O'Reilly anymore. Tony Khan, it was Wrestle Dream, so he brought out Antonio Inoki's grandsons to do the Ichi Nisan Da chant. I'm surprised he didn't bring out Okada to do it, especially given, I think when Inoki passed away last year. I know Okada was like the front runner for NJPW to lead the whole Inoki tribute, so I would have expected him to be out there. But going on from that, I think they interviewed Okada, say he didn't have a match on the show. Kyle O'Reilly just showed up, and he wanted a match for the title, but Okada said, let me think about it. Hell no. And then he said, bitch, because that's literally his catchphrase at this point. And then they brought in Christopher Daniels, kicked him out of the building. So, yeah, that's the pre-show, man. When it comes to pre-show, you can't really care or just skip the whole ththing itself. I just happened to watch it because I'm like, well, I was already cooking food and just do something until my food was ready. But yeah, the pre-show, it's whatever. It just goes on long and it just adds a whole bunch of matches. But now let's get into the main show of this whole shindig right here. So yes, kicking off the show was Switchblade Jay White versus Hangman Page. Now, Jay White had just came back. He came back to Dynamite over a week ago. And this is his first match back. And fans were chanting swerves how to Hangman Page and whatnot. And this wasn't a bad match or anything. It was pretty good, but I was more surprised that Jay White won clean over Hangman. Because, Jay White had worked on Hangman's leg throughout the match. And Hangman was going to go for the buckshot lariat, but, his knee was hurt. I think it was after the dead eye also. It just affected his knee. And he couldn't really get that buckshot all the way. He tried to do it, but Jay White ended up hitting like the Blade Runner and won the match clean too, very clean. So it wasn't a bad match, but this goes back to what I said earlier about lack of build with 1-2 weeks of build, and then now we're having a match on pay-per-view. I do really question this match though, because here's one thing: you don't want to have Jay White lose because he just came back, but at the same time, you've had this crazy ass feud with Hangman and Swerve going for a long time, from Texas death matches, from them trying to kill each other. Like, come on, look what just happened All Out in the main event in that unsanctioned cage match. As crazy and insane that match was, wouldn't you want to put Hangman, like, from a kayfabe standpoint, just beating people over the head and, like, being, like, I guess, a top heel on there? I know some people get a question because he was in a feud with Jeff Jarrett for several weeks, and now he's moved on to Jay White, but I was very surprised that Jay White won the match. Like, you think you keep the momentum for Hangman to keep going, especially after beating Swerve. Like I said, he was the main event of the last pay-per-view, and now he lost the opening on next pay-per-view. That is crazy right there. Like, you won the main event in the last big pay-per-view for AEW, which was All Out, but now for this pay-per-view, you lost in the opening match. Clean. So tell me where really any of that makes sense. Like, literally tell me where any of that makes sense. So, I don't I don't understand that. Like, you think you keep the momentum for Hangman going, but nah, we gotta have Jay White win because he can't lose on his first day back. So yeah, or is it his first match? I think he had a match on Dynamite, but I think it was just some jobber. But yeah, his first big match back. So yeah. Next, the AEW Women's Championship was on the line once again. Another one of these lack of build matches, which they kind of only built up Willow in the past few weeks. And here's a lot of things that don't make sense with this. Now, apparently it was supposed to be Willow versus Britt Baker to even see who was going to face Mariah May for the title, which I can't say they've done a really good job of, after All In building that whole thing up and keeping momentum on her. But, Baker, I guess, was out, I think, due to illness or something. And they just did some fatal 4-way the other night so Willow can get a title shot, which we already knew that was going to happen because we already seen Willow going for the title anyways. But here's the thing that doesn't make sense about all this. Okay, Chris Statlander and Willow were in a feud that ended it all out in a street fight. Chris Statlander won that match. Tell me what any of this makes sense. So apparently now Statlander's not even with Stokely anymore for whatever reason, I don't know, and it's going for the TBS title and not the main women's title. But Willow Nightingale, who lost to Chris Statlander, is somehow getting a women's title shot, which makes no sense. Wouldn't Statlander be the one to be going for the main championship? Why is she going out after the TBS title? Why is Stokely not with her anymore? Why is Willow getting a women's title shot when she lost at the last pay-per-view? You think Statlander would be going in for the main title? So it doesn't make sense. Now, this wasn't a bad match or anything. This was good. Some say it's the best match Mariah May has since All In against Toni Storm. It was really good. I like the finish to it. Because, Mariah May got a Hurricane Rana and then, a knee strike and a Storm Zero for the win. That was good. I didn't mind the match. I thought the match was really good, and I figured Mariah May was gonna retain anyways. But just once again, it's the story going into this where it doesn't make sense. Why did Willow really even need to have a title shot? Why was she even some contender to go for the title when you lost at the last pay-per-view? So really think about that. Really, really think about it and why Statlander's not going, but she's going for the TBS belt. So, it's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Some, once again, say it was an audible maybe. I'm not sure, but I guess since Britt Baker had to go due to, I guess it was the illness or something going on with her right now. I don't know. They just had to get Willow for it. So, like I said, good match, but the story don't make sense all the way. One next thing to point out is the TBS title on the line, and can't say I was looking forward to this. I don't think Jack Perry is the new Raven, as fans want to say for whatever reason. And I'm sitting there looking why is he going against Shibata? Why has Shibata got to lose to Jack Perry of all people? It was already odd enough watching Suzuki lose to him, but at least that was by count out. Now, Shibata's just beating the hell out of this man, honestly, throughout this whole match. Then again, wonder why this was even a pay-per-view match, but, Shibata's just beating the hell out of this man, kicking the hell out of him, just bringing the work to Jack Perry. Because I'm I already know Shibata's going to lose, which won't really make a lot of sense anyways. And he's just no-selling. Come on. Shibata's just no-selling Jack Perry out there anyways half the time. One thing I will say about this match was Shibata hitting a suplex onto the apron where his legs hit the... Yeah, his legs hit the apron, which looked pretty brutal, I thought. That was pretty crazy. But, Jack Perry tried to battle back, and he had a DDT, and he put Shibata in there, and, Shibata got him with a sleeper, I think, or something. And Jack Perry tried to roll out of it, and, Shibata's got he's holding that sleeper in, but I guess Jack Perry fell back, and Shibata's shoulders were down, so Jack Perry won. Because, I guess Shibata someone say the face kind of looks like an idiot here for not noticing that, because he thinks the match is still going, but the referee counted 3, so I guess that's the only way you can have Shibata lose without Jack Perry beating him clean. I guess some would say this was the best option to do. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but it probably was. At least he didn't lose clean, but still. But yeah, Jack Perry still retained the title. He retained the title, and then literally right after that, but yeah, he won, and then right after he attacked Shibata again after that with the title. Daniel Garcia came out for the save, and Jack Perry ended up rolling up out of there. Next thing you know, MJF finally returned. We haven't seen MJF since All Out. Now, MJF was filming a movie for Happy Gilmore too, so that's why he's been gone for so long. And Garcia's case, who just returned last Wednesday, because he finally signed a new contract with AEW, since I guess it was some bidding war going on between AEW and WWE for Garcia, which I always thought was kind of odd, that given that Garcia beat the living hell out of MJF to write him off TV, which I didn't even think that made sense the last time, but given, I guess, because MJF had to build a movie, film a movie, but the fact that Garcia was off TV because he didn't even have a new contract signed, we didn't never know why he beat the hell out of MJF, and now he's like, I'm back, I signed with AEW again, and MJF comes out there, and he looks at Garcia, and Jack Perry attacks him behind with the title belt. MJF takes off his jacket then. He's got the microphone and whatnot. Talking about the bidding war was real. It's the Seattle Supersonics in 2024. And you talk about the diamond ring was in a pawn shop in Buffalo. But took some time and he found it. And he said he was going to kiss it then. But when MJF was beating the hell out of Garcia. Next thing you know, Adam Cole, baby, returned. Adam Cole is back. It looks like there is no more Undisputed Kingdom Adam Cole, hopefully. But Adam Cole is back. He took off his jacket and I guess, checked his leg, ankle, and everything. And he ran to the ring going after MJF. MJF headed to the crowd. Cole did his whole catchphrase and whatnot. Helped Garcia up and stuff. So it's great to see Adam Cole back, especially throughout the time he's had right now, just from the injuries and the whole Undisputed Kingdom, which was a failure since day one. So we know Adam Cole's been gone for a long time. Because, hell, the last time we saw him was, Double or Nothing? And he still wasn't 100% ready. And MJF took him out at the time. Because, remember, Cole's still a heel. So, it's good to see him back. Because, like I said, the guy's been hurt. This whole supposedly breakup with Britt Baker, if it was cheating in that, I don't even really know that all the way. But that was going on too. But here's the thing, I'm sure that's not going to make sense now, because let's remember this. Cole turned on MJF, which turned Cole heel in the Undisputed Kingdom to go against MJF. Cole, who literally just been hurt and just cutting promos from a wheelchair all the time, end up being off TV again, comes back at Double or Nothing, who is a heel, who still has the Undisputed Kingdom mask devil thing going on. MJF, who was a face that came back at Double or Nothing, which once again, the last time both of these two came back was at Double or Nothing, just to point that out too. But MJF was the face, but now MJF has turned heel throughout time now, so I guess now they have no choice but to turn Cole back into a face now by default. So I'm sure it's a lot that's not going to make sense right here, because Cole turned on MJF first with the whole devil mask thing. But now, since MJF is already a heel, now we have to make Cole a face again. Now, at this point with the rest of Undisputed Kingdom, it looks like they got Cole away from it. I'm assuming it is. It didn't have any of the graphics. He's back to his black and yellow out there. So I don't think he's associated with the Undisputed Kingdom anymore. I'm just gonna assume that. At this point, I don't even know where the Undisputed Kingdom goes between Mike Bennett and Matt Taven and Roderick Strong, and Wardlow just disappeared off of the face of the earth. So there's really no telling whatever happened to him, if he's still with this company and that. So I don't know. So it's not really going to make sense from a storyline standpoint of why Cole is now a face again, even though he was heel, but MJF's heel, so we got to turn him back face. So I guess these two will finally be back in a feud with each other. So it's great to see Adam Cole back. I'm sure people still get a question that, given his time off, I know everybody's going to go with that size thing again, which he doesn't really look that different, but, that size thing always comes to play out. People feel like Cole still looks even smaller than he was in NXT. So I hope he can stay healthy, though, for real, though. So it's great to see Adam Cole, but, we'll see what happens with him and MJF. Next, the international title is on the line. Now, it's going to be one of these two things right here. You are going to like this match, or you are going to hate this match. And one thing I could say throughout tonight, when it comes to no selling and Poison Rana, you're going to see a lot of that throughout either this match or even later on to this show. But Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Konosuke Takeshita. Obviously, you get the simultaneous flip poses with Ospreay and Ricochet with the whole landing on their feet and everything. Listen, I'm not going to try to call this whole match. This was insane. The crowd is going to eat this up. You can sit here and say it was a spot fest, which is true. It really was a spot fest and whatnot. So, It's no surprise given what we saw in this match, or just people no selling finishers towards the end too. So it's a lot of insane stuff in this match that I can't even name all the way. If it ain't dudes doing like a springboard, 360, just even with the odds cutter, like it's just flips all over the place. Hell, fucking what was it? Osprey powerbomb ricocheted him with a Styles clash, and then Takeshita breaks it up. Like it's just like a lot of stuff, and Osprey and Ricochet doing poison ranas and still getting right back up, going into German suplex. Like it's literally all over the place. Like this match is just all over the place. So you're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. All right, you're gonna call it a spot fest, or you thought it was the greatest thing in the world. But what I know they had a table to the outside, and I know Don Callis is on commentary and whatnot, and what is it? Takeshita didn't do like a inverted power driver on Ricochet throughout to the outside onto a table, and then Takeshita got back up, high five Don Callis, gets in the ring with Osprey. Osprey hit him with a hidden blade, and he gets up at one, goes for a second one, but Callis pulled the referee out the ring then, and he's got the screwdriver. Osprey grabbed him, went for the Tiger Driver like he was going to do, but then Kyle Fletcher, which they already said it was him in the hood before he even took off the hood. At least they'll take off his hood first. But he ended up hitting Osprey in the back of the head with the screwdriver, which for some reason you think this would damn near kill Osprey or KO him immediately. But Osprey's back up in a few seconds, damn near just holding his head. Like, for a guy that just got hit in the head with the back of the head with a screwdriver, like, damn, you healed that fast? And, Osprey just looks at him like stunned. It was Fletcher and whatnot, and Takeshita hit a knee strike and won the match from there once they pulled the referee back in. So one thing I can say about this, the screwdriver thing looked kind of ridiculous because I think you sell it. It's good to see Takeshita finally get a big win and a title belt around here that I guess they're finally going to start pushing them. Yeah, I know it's going to be a lot of shenanigans, and a lot of people don't really like how it was because a lot of the story now to this match is that Kyle Fletcher turned on Will Ospreay now, so at least they got the international title belt off of Will Ospreay, which I'm sure now Will Ospreay, after he probably gets through this feud with the Callis family, he will most likely go for the World Championship next, I would assume. But that's where it's going to go now. Takeshita, like I said, Takeshita's really good. He got a title, so we'll see what happens next with him. So at least they're finally doing something with him. But yeah, Ospreay was pinned right here. And like I say, it's a crazy spot match. So you're either going to like it or not. But obviously, the story after this was one of the biggest things to point out from here. So, yeah, crazy match, and at least now it's a lot of stories kind of going on right now. What's gonna happen next, especially with Kyle Fletcher turning on Will Ospreay, and we'll see what goes from there. But yeah, good for Takeshita winning the international title though. Jerry Lynn was speaking with Orange Cassidy for some reason. It's about dress for Halloween, and I don't know, saying he's the man or something around here. So I'm going to get into that later on. Prince Nana was in the ring plucking his coffee out there as he introduced Swerve. This is Swerve's hometown of Tacoma, Washington. I thought he would have got a bigger reaction, but he got a big reaction nonetheless. Fans chanted, "Whose house? Swerve's house." Swerve thanked the fans. He thanked the crowd. It's good to be home and whatnot. And talked about, medical updates. So, yeah, he's a little wonkily and tingling and whatnot. And, he talked about Danielson, how he lost the title to him, and Karma, but, he is medically cleared now. He wanted to dress in his hometown, and now, let's talk about the past, the present, and the future. But then next thing you know, MVP came out with Shelton Benjamin. They came out talking about the business card and everything for Swerve, and he said, "Y'all ain't call me back." And MVP said, "I'm sure you're really thinking about this, especially about your future." And MVP talked about, "We have history together, okay? We faced each other before. I talked about your career. It was floundering for a bit after the world title. But, I'm good at taking former world champions and making them great and all that. And said, we need to talk some business." But Swerve said, "Hey, hello, you gave me advice back in 2017. And I actually remember that match they had in Defy. So they did mention that. So they did face each other before. And I've seen what you do for other wrestlers." And he talked about how Shelton Benjamin was a big inspiration to him and just paving the way for just black wrestlers in general to get a chance to do what they do in the ring because of him. And Swerve, said MVP, you not wrong. And I've been thinking about my career. They talk about Prince Nana. I lost my title, I lost my childhood home, and that's under your watch, okay? But at the same time, if it wasn't for Nana, I wouldn't be in the position I be in right now. And we have history, MVP, and all that, but Nana bothers me sometimes. You still selling weed to high school kids in the parking lot for some reason. But he is family though, so he can't turn his back on family. He ain't gonna turn it on anybody. So you take your business card and shove it up your ass and all that. Van Chance Swerve's house. But Shelton Benjamin ended up telling them, like, I think you need to understand. Okay, we ain't asking you. We telling you. You either with us or you against us and whatnot. And then, Nana's trying to push Shelton Benjamin. They push him back and Swerve. Like, they about to brawl, but Christopher Daniels and all the referee security come out them. And, MVP and Shelton left, which, MVP kind of, like, looked at his hand like a watch and everything. Pointing at his watch like, hey, man, time's running out. So, one thing I can say is this. We did not get Bobby Lashley out here. I thought this was a great segment. And we still waiting on Lashley. We're going to let him marinate. We could bring it right now on pay-per-view. I thought Bobby Lashley was going to show up on this pay-per-view. But, no, he didn't. And I guess we gonna wait on it. Maybe till Dynamite. I don't know when Lashley will ever show up or whatnot. But did I think he was going to show up here? Yeah, I thought he was. But I thought this segment was great. I enjoyed the promo from MVP and Swerve out there. So I do want to see where this is going to go next. The Hurt Syndicate, as everybody is saying right now. Will Swerve end up joining him? Will he ever, betray Prince Nana? Which it doesn't look like he's going to. But I don't know. Time gonna tell if he does or not. But I enjoyed this segment. It was great. Crowd was really behind it. Hot segment right here. So it does make you wonder what's gonna happen. And hey, when will Bobby Lashley ever show up? I got no idea. So we're gonna see about that. Next, a match that I did not care about for whatever reason, which makes no sense. Okay, I didn't even know why this was on pay-per-view card. This is something you probably would have thrown on Dynamite or Collision or something. So we get Hologram versus the Beast Mortos in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And they got the Spanish announce team out there. I'm sitting there wondering to myself, why is this a match? Why am I watching it? You could say this was probably another spot fest and whatnot of people no selling if you want to go there. But here's the thing I don't get. This is Tony's pet project. Okay? This is his pet project. Hologram. Because they kept playing up that Hologram was undefeated. He's got an undefeated streak right now. This is basically his Goldberg, if you want to say that. This is basically like the new Goldberg to him. Well, except, this guy's not running through people like that. But here's a question you got to wonder to yourself. If this guy's undefeated and he's got this streak, why is he in a 2 out of 3 falls match? And then when you really think about it, he lost a match. So they end up going to 3 anyway. But, Mortos end up getting the second fall on Hologram. So doesn't that not make him undefeated anymore? Now Hologram won the whole match, but still, what? Wouldn't that not make him undefeated? Even though he still won the match, but he still took a fall? I don't know. And like I said, these guys are like hitting poison ranas again out there. Everybody just gets up and just don't even sell this move at the time, no matter how many they do. But listen, you could say it was another spot. Honestly, this match didn't even need to be on the card. It was just another spot fest. That's all you could really say it was. It was a lucha spot fest. I don't know why this match was on the card. I don't know why this was on pay-per-view. I don't understand why. I don't even know why this is a match. I don't know what goes on Collision. I guess they're in a feud on Collision. This is Tony's project, Hologram. They say he created this himself. So, dude, if you really did this next Goldberg, you're insane. But, you could say nobody really sold out here. I guess the crowd paid attention. And this went damn near, 15 minutes, I think? Over 15 minutes? So, they could have took this off the card. There was no point in putting this match on the show. I really don't even understand. I'm surprised it was this late in the card. I'm surprised it's didn't open show. I'm really surprised it's even here in general. Like I said, why is this match on the card? Why am I watching this? Why is this a 2 out of 3 falls match? I really don't get it. I really don't understand why this is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Like it for the life of me, I don't know. So I don't really get it. So like I said, it's on here, but still, this is one of those things you just kind of skip over. You don't really need to watch. Like I said, it's not really a lot to talk about it, so it is what it is. Right after that, Darby Allin went against Brody King. You'll actually like this match. Darby is insane. Especially doing a damn coffin drop onto the damn steel steps onto Brody King outside. It's not much I can say about this match. I thought it was good. I didn't hate it. I know they had, Brody King just kind of damn near dominate Darby Allin at first, throwing like a damn rag doll and everything, but especially when he caught him with like a springboard coffin drop and just start choking him then on the ropes and stuff. But um, it was, like I said, it was really good. Like I said, Darby, I ended up hitting like another coffin drop. Like if it was a second or third one at that point, because I know it was one. Like I said, it was one on the steel steps. And then he got him back in the ring and he hit him with another one. And then, Darby ended up, I guess, wanted to give him a handshake, or what? Brody King offered a handshake and Darby shook it. So, like I said, really good match. I guess they had to get Darby on his I know it's like his home state, if I'm not mistaken, too, or somewhere around Washington, if I'm not mistaken. But Brody King, at least they did something different with him than just being in the damn 6-man of the House of Black and just going for the 6-man tag title. So at least he got a singles match, and I guess they were trying to do something with him. But I figured Darby was going to win anyways after what happened with him and Mox back at Grand Slam. So, like I said, it was just a really good match. There's not much I can really say about it. So, like I said, we already knew, I know lack of build of like 1 to 2 weeks, because I think Brody and them coming out after him on Collision, and we saw what happened on Dynamite. So, like I said, a lot of really good matches, but lack of build. Next, the Young Bucks went against Private Party for the AEW Tag Team titles, and okay, first off, it's a lot to say. I know the term, if you've seen one Young Bucks match, you've seen it all. Which, once again, another spot fest. Who's the referee? Rick Knox. Figures. It's basically a tornado tag at this point. And I'm sitting here watching this. Okay, the champions come out first. And then you have a big video package for Private Party talking about, how about, it's not a party no more. We didn't drop the ball and everything. We got to get serious now and all that stuff. We got to prove we the best tag team in the company. And once again, we're pushing Private Party out of nowhere, which you haven't done in the longest time through months and years in this company. We're still going off of how they beat the Young Bucks in the second ever episode of AEW Dynamite. Listen, that was 5 years ago. What the hell have they done at this point? Okay, Mark Quinn was hurt. That was one thing. Second thing, didn't they throw Isaiah Cassidy with the Hardys at one point and call him Brother Isaiah, some shit like that? So, what the fuck they done in the past 5 years? Now you want to push them because it got to the 5-year anniversary and only had like 2 weeks of build to make Private Party into something? And you kind of thinking they may win this match right here. It's like, okay, we got a video package. Like, they're coming out second when the champions come out first. And then, we got people like Stokely in the crowd watching, and the Top Flight people and all that stuff. And then the Bucks talked about they're mid-card act. This is the closest they're going to get to the titles. But listen, all I can say is this is mostly a spot fest match. Damn near a tornado tag. You kind of know how it goes when it gets to the Bucks matches and all that. Or someone's once again going to say a lot of no selling and whatnot. And once again, that Poison Rana always comes into play here, folks. But it's a lot of crazy moves. It was a lot of crazy moves and stuff. You already know, get the silly string of the gin and juice or bang for your buck. It's like it's going all over the place, okay? But the Bucks actually end up winning after they hit like the Meltzer driver and pinned Isaiah Cassidy. And then, I guess the Private Party was supposed to get like a standing ovation after, and Isaiah Cassidy was emotional, but Private Party just, hugged and shook hands as they walked off. I almost thought one was going to turn on the other, but, we did all this stuff, and Private Party still didn't win. So it's almost like, what was the point of this in a way? Like, literally. What was the point of this? And at this point in the card, I'm going to be... I was sitting there wondering, like, how many matches we got left in this show? Because, like I said earlier, AEW pay-per-views damn near got 15 matches all the time as it is anyway. So, and the crowd was somewhat into this match or two. So, but still, they kind of somewhat reacted later on. But this tag match, low-key felt like a waste of time damn near. Like, I guess the crowd kind of got behind Private Party. But once again... it's just lack of build. Like, you haven't really built these guys for either months or years. You just happen to start pushing him now all of a sudden because you haven't done nothing with him in the past 5 years. And maybe because their contract's coming up and Tony better do something or they may leave, but I don't know. And the Bucks won, so maybe they'll get another match. I have no idea. Jim Ross ended up being on commentary then for the Ring of Honor World Title. Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho. Hi guys! Hi guys! Bye guys! Hi guys! And I'm sure a lot of people didn't want to watch this match for obvious reasons. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think this was bad. I know they brought up Jay Briscoe throughout this feud in the past few weeks now. I didn't really hate it, but I'm sure people are going to say this was a waste of time. One, because it's the Ring of Honor title. Why are we watching this in the co-main event of an AEW pay-per-view and just trying to get people to care about Ring of Honor? Mark Briscoe, like I said, who I like, but how many people care about the ROH title like that? And I'm sure everybody has a lot to say about Chris Jericho when it just comes to his latest gimmick in general with the learning tree. I know they had Big Bill out there. I know they had set up a table at one point. Orange Cassidy ended up fighting Big Bill to the back. And stuff. Mark, I don't know, Mark and Jericho still going at it. I'm trying to remember what else. I know Jericho had like a J driller and then went for the walls of Jericho then, but Briscoe got the ropes. Brian Keith showed up then, and Jericho, I think he hit Briscoe. Jericho distracted the referee. And they pinned them, and then still Brian Keith climbed up to the apron. Rocky Romero came out then, and then they brawled to the back. And then, they went out to the outside. Briscoe did like a flip to the outside off a chair onto the table, which didn't even really hit all the way, too. He went for a froggy bow then after that, but Jericho hit a cold breaker on him. Went for the Judas effect, and, he went for a J Driller, and Jericho covered him, which was still a kick out. Jericho was pissed off then. And Briscoe just started no-selling in after that. And then, hit another froggy bow on him and hit the J Driller. So, like I said, given the feud, it's nice to see Mark Briscoe win. And like I said, he did it for his brother. Because, like I said, they brought up his brother, Jay Briscoe, throughout this feud. And stuff. So, like I said, I know some people aren't really going to care for this feud and why this is on the show. Or just for the ROH title itself. But I was just glad to see Mark Briscoe even get a win. Because I actually almost thought Jericho was going to win the ROH title just because. But I was like, nah, Mark Briscoe's got to do it for his brother and everything. So, he ended up winning. So, not much I can say about this. But like I said, how many people really care about the Ring of Honor World title like that? In the main event, we finally get to the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Moxley's coming out to his MJPW music with Shafir. Bryan's coming out to the final countdown, which they just love paying money. Which, let me say one thing awesome, man. They must have been paying money tonight since that TV deal, because we ain't swerving. Osprey, Pyro, we just paying for the final countdown every time Bryan even comes out at this point. And Bryan's playing to the crowd coming out there, and Mox attacks him, which, by the way, they still continued the music, so we're damn near going to anarchy and the rules here and whatnot. And they're just fighting with cables outside throughout the match, and the music is just still playing, and we got a chair involved until they finally got in the ring, and then the ref called for the bell and finally hit. They just love playing the music if the match don't start for some reason. So they love playing that. I know Bryan hit like a big running knee for like a near fall. Which they ended up going to the outside. Mox in a pile driving Bryan onto the top of the table. Fans chanting "Fuck you, Moxley." Once they got the table outside, going for that. Shafir's getting involved, trying to choke Danielson up then, while the ref is distracted by Mox and all that. Which, I didn't think this was a bad match. Like, this wasn't really a bad match out here. I did enjoy this. Both of these guys did good against each other. Like I said, it was a brawl. I gotta say, it was a hard-hitting brawl. I will say that. It was a lot of really good stuff out there that I enjoyed. So, I didn't really think the match was bad. I know Danielson still kept trying to, hit the damn LaBelle lock on him several times. He was hitting a lot of them running knees out there. They had finally ended up throwing Shafir up out of there then. After a while, the referee saw her getting involved again and threw her out of there. At one point, I know that, the floor was exposed, the padding was pulled up. Danielson went for a dive. Moxon with a Death Rider to the outside into the exposed floors for a 2 count then. Danielson came back with another running knee after that. He got up again, and he just starts clotheslining him and stuff. But Mox ended up coming back. He had another Death Rider on him once again, and still did not work. And Mox kept telling him, "Don't make me do this, okay? Don't make me do this." Danielson ended up spinning his face and slapping him. Moxley ended up hitting like a Gotch-style power driver, Suzuki style. And then he hit the Bulldog choke, and Danielson just faded out. And Mox actually became the new world champion. I was actually surprised to see that. So Danielson never... I guess this was Danielson's last match. This is his last full-time career match now. I guess it's the last time it was... Because I was like, holy shit, he actually won? I didn't really think Moxley was going to win this all the way. But given how they've been building Mox in the Blackpool Combat Club and him talking like the damn Riddler out there several times, maybe. But I guess, yeah, he ended up winning. Like, he really ended up winning. I didn't think that was going to happen. And I think even the crowd was kind of somewhat shocked that Mox won this match. Because that was something that I kind of expected. I didn't expect out of nowhere. This match damn near went 30 minutes anyways. But I enjoyed the match. And then Mox just looked at him then and everything. And then like the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club come out there then. And Mox just took the title, handed it to Claudio. I guess he put it inside a bag. And then, they're about to try to go after Danielson again. Darby Allin and Wheeler Yuta come out there after that. Darby, he had a chair and stuff. They pushed the Blackpool Combat Club back, but Yuta just end up turning on Darby, which, come on, we knew that was going to happen then. Hits him with a knee strike, and then, they end up taking Darby and tying him up to the ropes then, and just, Moxley just hands a plastic bag to Yuta, and then just starts choking out Danielson with it, and commentary's just trying to be all disgusted and pissed off by it and stuff, and they're just choking him out and everything, and you want to know where the face is at. Security try to get in the ring, they get knocked back. Private Party tries to help, they get knocked back. Jeff Jarrett tries to come out, they get knocked back, and then Claudio puts a chair around Danielson's neck then after that, and stomps on his head, just stomps on him, just killing Danielson at this point. And then at first, I was wondering who was going to come out next. At first, I saw Orange Cassidy. I'm like, don't tell me they're just running from Orange Cassidy. That'd be kind of dumb. But you see Cassidy, you see Garcia, you see Adam Cole. You see at least some faces come out to try to make the save then. And then next thing you know, they got EMTs out there trying to stretcher Brian up out here. Fans saying, thank you, Brian, after that. And, I will say this, and commentary trying to be all somber, but the stupidest thing I really saw from all this was Excalibur damn near crying in tears because of how... And I thought that was cringe. That was stupid. I get getting pissed off, you're upset on commentary, or, somber mode, like, how could you do this and everything, or you're pissed off, like how JR got pissed off about the plastic bag and selling how disgusting it was. Not crying damn near like a bitch on commentary. That was stupid. You seen worse stuff in this company of how people tried to kill each other. But no, a plastic bag over Danielson's head. Now you want to start crying now. I thought that was silly. I damn near started laughing at that. That was cringe. Like, Excalibur just sucks at commentary. Come on. We know this guy sucks. Like, commentary is never as good as this. I like Nigel McGuinness. Tony Schiavone, it's just kind of whatever. JR, I like it whenever time they bring him back. Because at least he damn near he's better than Excalibur. Even at this state and age, he's still better than Excalibur. But I damn near started laughing when I heard that. Brian, I'm sorry. Like, shut up. Shut up. I get selling emotion to a match, but dude, you're crying out there and you've seen way worse stuff than just a plastic bag over someone's head and someone's head getting stomped in with a chair. Like, dude, we seen concertos. We just saw that match at All Out with the unsanctioned and cinder blocks and like stabbing people with needles and chair shots to the head. But it's the worst thing you damn near see that you in tears now. Get up out of here with that. I thought that was kind of lame. I thought that was lame. I will say this. Great main event. Now, I will say one other thing. I am almost surprised we did not see Shane McMahon out here. I thought he was going to come out here at one point. I really, really did. He was going to be like the greater power or something that Mox's been talking about for the past month since he sounded like the Riddler out here. But I thought... Stupid computer. It's always making noises, but ignore that. But I thought at least Shane was gonna come out and be like the new power, since Mox saying this is not your company anymore. This is my company. This is we're not running things. Danielson, you made me do this. So it is interesting that they put the title belt in a bag and just walked off with it. So Mox is the new world champion, but the fact that he just took the bag and walked away, just gave the Claudio and walked off, that was interesting. Yuta end up turning and just going back with the Blackpool Combat Club. So I'm not surprised by that. One thing to point out at the end was that they did have the camera focused on Darby Allin a lot on the outside, given that he wasn't able to save Danielson after basically getting killed out there. So, like I said, I think Danielson's full-time career is now over, because I guess he said the next match he would lose, his full-time career would be over. So this was the way I guess he went out then. And I guess he's a part-timer now, if you want to say that. But given how they had Darby and how they focused on him at the end on the camera, even going off the air, he will probably be the one to go after Moxley and get the title from him. I know some are saying Orange Cassidy too, given he was right there. I hope to God not they don't have this guy going for the world title. But knowing AEW and Tony Khan, these people are crazy enough to do some silly shit like that. But Darby, I'm okay with. But like I said, a hell of an angle to end the show. I'm going to be honest, I was up and down for this show. Maybe some more down, if I want to say that. Because once again, it's a lack of build throughout this show. It's a lot of really good matches. I know a lot of them are spot fest, but there wasn't a lot of build to them at the same time. A lot of it had 1 to 2 weeks worth of build, or some stories don't make sense. Hey, good to see MJF and Adam Cole back. Let's see where that goes. I know the story doesn't make sense at this point, given who's heel and who's face, but hey, I don't know. Or just even people getting title shots for whatever reason. Or it's a lot to say about this show. I feel like a lot of middle was where this show kind of died. I don't need to see Hologram and the Beast Morto. I really didn't need to see Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho at the same time, too. Hell, even I didn't need to see Jack Perry and Shibata out there. There's a lot of things I didn't need to see. So I know we can always debate. I know it's always going to be a debate now when it comes to AEW and WWE shows of how WWE only has 5 matches. It's too short. At least 7 at least. It's too not many matches. Or AEW has way too many matches. Like 15 matches. They go way too much. So I know it's always going to be a debate between of how with AEW. Like AEW goes too long and WWE goes too short. So I'd rather still see 7 to 8 matches, maybe 7. I think that's a good number for any pay-per-view when it comes to wrestling. I'm not saying having 15 matches. I'm not saying having 5 matches. 7 would be a good number. I'm always going to think that. Hey, you may disagree with me, but that's my thought on it. But this is another one of these marathon shows when it comes to AEW that if you got rid of some matches on this show, I'd be cool with it all the way. But it's just some things that didn't need to be on this show, or you wonder why they were on this show. Or if you already knew the story, you only started building it like 1 to 2 weeks ago, and you just threw it on the card just because. So that's what I really thought. But at least they ended the show off pretty strong, for the AEW World Title, and Mox is winning the belt, and they killed Danielson. So like I said, that's the end of his full-time career now. And once again, we didn't get Shane McMahon on here. Hell, we didn't get a Bobby Lashley on here. So I guess we're still going to wait on that right now. But for the time being, we'll see what happens at least Wednesday. At least it was a good cliffhanger to go off on and whatnot. So I overall enjoyed this. I did. The only thing I thought was cringe, at least, was the commentary towards the end and Excalibur crying for whatever reason. I don't know, but I just thought that was cringe and just kind of silly, if you ask me. So take about commentary. I don't care. I just don't think he's good at commentary. But other than that, yeah, Wrestle Dream was... God, if I had to grade Wrestle Dream, 6 out of 10? Maybe? I don't even know if I want to even say 7. Yeah, I think I may stick with 6. I think I'm just going to go there. So, that's how I look at the show. But once again, this was a long marathon show for AEW once again. Hell, they got that TV deal now, so we'll see what happens this Wednesday. But, like I said, I was up and down, but at least the main event ended off strong and had a big angle going on, and just them basically murdering Bryan Danielson once again, and wonder where all the faces were at one point. So, like I said, this man just got killed out there the second time since All Out. So, when will we see Danielson ever again? I have no idea, but his full-time career is over now, it looks like. So, yeah. Other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, HoodedKnight890. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.